We are back with Sally Ann Blanchard, and you're a family lady, aren't you? So tell us more about you. You've got a family, you've got kids, you've got dogs. What dogs have you got? Tell us more about that life.
So I have Bingo, who is nearly 3. He's a Staffy Cross Bull Terrier. He's a mischievous, still very puppy-like pest who I adore.
And I like the way
Um,
that you talked about the dog first.
I know, isn't it? Well, he's my one constant. So
Yeah.
being divorced, I have the kids on as most separated families do, on like a week on, week off basis. So he's my constant. And
Mm.
when the kids are here, it's almost like he adopts this different personality because they're very playful. Whereas when it's just me, I'm working and I'm in and out of the house, and I think he sort of misses them as well. So, and yeah, I've got my son is 15 and my daughter is 13. So I'm in the thick of those teenage years right
Ooh.
now.
Hey, I remember when I was that age. Oof.
So do I, but
Oh
I have
my
to
God.
say, so far, I think I'm doing all right. I'm not going to jinx it, Bobby.
I won't jinx it either. So I'm not going to talk about it at all. And so when you've got your week off, let's call it, what do you like to do?
So I tend to work a bit harder in those weeks because obviously I can work longer hours. I can maybe travel as I do with my work from time to time. The one constant for me, whether I've got the children or not, is looking after my health. So I do CrossFit, which I really enjoy.
Mhm.
It looks after I guess, my mental health first, and then my physical health. My body comes along for the ride. I've got involved in some competitions this year and really challenged myself, which has been fun. So yeah, just making sure that I have that sort of self-care. Before I came on this show today, as you know, I'd messaged you because I'd just spent half an hour at the magnesium baths and ice cold plunge and just giving my body a bit of a break from training this weekend. But yeah, just all the things that kind of just top up my tank really and make me a better version of me.
And just to let you know, people listening to this right now, the message was, hey, is it just audio?
You
No, it
make me
is not just audio. I lied. It is just audio. We have the cameras on,
sound.
but we only
Yeah,
use the audio, so you can don't have to worry about anything else.
I
So,
was quite relieved about that, as you
yeah,
can tell.
so am I. I can't be bothered. It drives me mad. All right. So next 4 songs coming up. What you got?
Snap the Power, Wilson Phillips, Hold On, Coldplay, Fix You, and Gwen Stefani, The Sweet Escape.
I was going to talk to you about Coldplay fiction. So
Did I
I
get you
love.
a tissue?
Yeah, yeah, again. I've got to talk about this. I've got to talk about this, and I've got to talk about films for a moment because I don't know what it is with me. I've always had this thing. I've never liked the ending of things. It makes me really. I think, especially with films. I remember going to the cinema when I was younger on a Sunday night, and at the end of the film meant tomorrow was the next day of work, right? And so I
Yeah.
think that is where that attachment comes from. But Coldplay Fiction, I surprised my partner with a candlelit music concert, and
Yes.
it was violins and all this kind of stuff with Coldplay, and they
Yes.
played this, and we had front row seats in this really small kind of event, and I was crying my eyes out. Right, it was so beautiful. It's such a beautiful song, and at the end of it, I went up to the people who were playing the music, and I was just like, thank you so much for playing some beautiful music. And I was like, it really made me emotional. And they were like, oh, which song made you emotional? And I just started crying. I was like, and then ran off like a big blubbering baby. But at the moment, I'm watching a lot of films. I bought this little projector from Timu and stuff like this, like $100 projector.
Oh
So
yeah.
pretty good. I'm watching a load of films. And this is really random, right? I was watching Marvel. I was watching what was it called? The Avengers, and it was about the Hulk. And I was crying at the Hulk, right? I was like, "What are you crying at the Avengers?" And I was like, "It's just so misunderstood."
Uh, I I
Oh
have to
dear.
say, Coldplay for me, I've seen them live a couple of times as well, both in Australia and in the UK. They're just such a great act, and
Mm,
you think about how long they've been going now, and they continue just to keep bringing out some great songs. I
yeah,
just love them.
it's beautiful, isn't it? And tell us more about Gwen Stefani.
Well, this is one of those songs that I like to really playfully irritate my children. So one of the things I do is I open up my windows, I put the window locks on, and I play this at full blast and sing along out of tune at the top of my lungs.
And
And my
take it away, Sally Ann. Let's listen.
not on this occasion, but yeah, it's one of those things that's just going to always be firmly fixed as a memory for me. It's just my kids just laughing their heads off, but also cringing, and that's the perfect part of parenting teenagers, right?
well, if you can't do it, who can? Yeah. And it's also what I find as well, because you're English, you can bring that wit and that sarcasm that you just don't get in Australia, and Australians don't get
Banter.
it.
We call
Yeah,
it
they
banter.
don't get it. They don't get it. Like I have to really quiet down that stuff with my partner because she takes offense to it. And I'm like, no, no, you're missing the point. I'm just being sarcastic, it's a bit of band, bit of fun. But no, he just goes over the head.
Yeah.
But to give you an idea about the views on these two, Coldplay and Gwen Stefani, Sweet Escape is 205 million views, but Coldplay 641 million. Right? So it just goes to
Amazing.
show. Imagine just getting not even a dollar. And that's only this stream of income. Crazy.
Amazing.
Anyway, we'll be back after these 4 tracks.